Hello Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is tips day. It's sometime in March, I don't know when. I'm probably in England, but I'm recording a load of these before I leave. Go see Mummy. And then for your enjoyment, the things I do. Here from sunny St. Petersburg in Florida, we are live with Mick the Suit Guy's weekly tips. Whatever. Anyways, as with last week's, I record them all in the same day. And then I pre-schedule them, so I didn't have a printer last week, and I still don't have it because this is about 15 minutes after I did last week's video. So surprisingly, it hasn't arrived yet, a new one, so I'm still reading off the phone. Tips from me for the next 2 weeks, or the next hour, depending on how you look at it, we're making these videos. I will let you into a little secret. Whereas I don't read your tips in advance, I do read mine. Inside scoop for you right there, so I know what's coming. Normally I don't. Oh look, there's last week's. Okay, here we go. I got some tips for you. Boom, boom, boom. Did you know that now when you go to Mexico, they don't usually enforce this, but it's something to be aware of. If you are caught smoking in the streets, you are subject to a fine of, I think it's $50. Cozumel, Cabo, all these places, it's a new law out there. So if you go ashore in Cozumel and you're caught smoking a cigarette by the local popo, as it were, they could slap you a $50 fine. Here's a caveat to that. I don't think they're going to collect it. You'll be leaving in 8 hours and they just give you the thing to send it in. Are you really going to send it in? I don't know. Are they even going to do it? It's a thing. Are they going to do it? The sign's up. Don't get caught smoking ashore in Cozumel. My advice, don't take the risk. Or you could do what a very well-known cruise director that I'm not going to say I can't stand him. I don't hate anybody. I just don't care for this person. Although he's not actually a cruise director anymore, thank goodness. But he's still a carnival. He's very short. He has like short man syndrome, so he has a problem. And nobody wants to work with him. Anyway, I talk to the crew. I find these things out. I know a lot of things. Some inside scoops that would blow your mind about some of the people that you think everybody loves and they don't love them. Anyway, a good friend of mine was trying to find a smoking section on the ship one time, and she asked this cruise director to help. So he's walking her down to show her where it is. He doesn't know where it is. He can't find it, and he goes, maybe you should just quit smoking, and turned around and walked away. That was his response. That's what a nice person this man is when he wants. Yeah, I could tell you way worse stories than that, but I'm not going to. Because we're not going to be malicious, nasty gossip spreaders on this channel. Pack it in. Anyway, those that know. Now, there's been some confusion about Bluetooth players. People think they're banned. I think it was a ruse. I don't think they're banned. Because I looked it up just 20 minutes ago on Carnival's website and nowhere does it say they are banned. It does say Bluetooth players are only allowed to be used inside your stateroom. Not on your balcony. Inside your stateroom. And at a volume that's not too loud. So remember that. You know, I get it. I did hear a rumor that maybe they are confiscating them on celebration of Mardi Gras. I don't know if that's true, but there's certainly nothing anywhere that I have seen that says that they are banned. I think there was a post on John Hill's page a few weeks ago, but I think they dropped it. We went on the cruise on the Horizon and we had that. If you've been to Amber Cove, they got that one big cabana, and we rented that for the day. There was like 10 of us, and one of our friends, Chuck, who was with us, he bought his Bluetooth player. They didn't confiscate that. We took it ashore, we played it in the cabana, it was great, blah blah blah. But you know, I will say, I was on the Sunrise back in November, and it was a little bit annoying because you'd walk along the back deck by the back bar, and there were 3 different tables of people playing 3 different types of music loud on their Bluetooth players, and they were just kind of competing with each other. Not enjoyable. I'm not saying the music was bad. I quite like the music. But A, B, and C playing at the same time, and A is totally different than B and totally different than C. A little bit annoying. It's like, I'll be doing a video on this coming up because we've been spending quite a bit of time in Cozumel lately. Now we've moved to Florida. So I did a video on Nachikocom. I've done a video on Mr. Sancho's. We are going to the Paradise Beach Club in a couple of weeks. And there's also a club next to it and another one, a family one next to that. I'm going to try and sneak into either of those on the day. And I'm going to do a video on all the comparison. Anyway, we're in Mr. Sancho's, which in my opinion has gone way downhill. But, you know, each to their own. Each to their own. Judge for yourselves when you see the video. But we got sat at this table. Of course, we got there a bit late because the ship came in late. So we had to sit at one of the regular tables because there's only a few sunbeds. And there's a family there with a Bluetooth player blasting music over the music at the venue. And the venue didn't tell them to turn the music off. So now I've got to listen to this music. And then somebody else started their own Bluetooth Bluetooth player. And whatever. Bluetooth's to be the death of us all. And I'm not an old complaining person. I'm a DJ on the side, and I love music. I don't mind it at all. But not when it's competing with other music at the same time. That's when it's no fun. Selfish is what it is. Anyways, so don't necessarily buy into the fact that Bluetooth players are banned. You can take them on board. There's nothing on Carnival's website that says you cannot. But you have to keep them in your stateroom. Not on the balcony. Not on the back of deck 10 or deck 9 on the Lido. Keep it inside. Alright, speaking of noise, and I found this out on a recent cruise. Which one was it? Horizon. We did a back-to-back on the Horizon. The first week we were in an interior. The second week we bougied into a Havana cabin. We were in an interior the first week. It was a connecting cabin with a connecting door. And the one thing I noticed, I don't know if it was the door, to be honest. But every morning, the people in the next room, you could hear everything they said. They would turn the TV on at 5 in the morning. I could hear the TV. I could hear every conversation that they made. They weren't even interested. Like, they could at least have argued. You know, that would have been interesting. But it was all like normal conversations. Like, what are we going to do today? Ha, 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 ha. I didn't want it. I wanted to hear aggression, you know. I wanted to hear anger. How dare you do what you did last night? I want to hear stories. I didn't hear any. So if that had been the case, get the connecting room. But, you know, I just got a feeling that because there's a door, there's gaps more than just a wall, so you can hear a little bit more. So, you know, if you get the connecting room to be next to somebody, that's one thing. But if you're getting it and you're not next to somebody you care for or even know, think about that. Because it does make it a bit thin. And you can hear, and imagine if you're on like a long cruise. You know, this was an 8-day cruise. So for 8 mornings, they woke me up at 5 every morning. And I'm not getting until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, so I'm not getting any sleep. And they weren't even interested. At least, if you're going to do that, if you're going to get up at 5 in the morning and make noise, make it interesting noise. Not that. No, not that. I know what you're thinking. People, your minds. Yeah, so don't do that. Oh yeah, and there was one thing, when we were on the Conquest, I wrote this down. They tried doing this new de-embarkation thing, and they did not do it on the Horizon. So I don't know if it was just an experiment on the Conquest, but, and it didn't work, because whatever they said was going to happen didn't happen. But they had this new thing with the de-embarkation on the last day, where you could check in on your phone, on your hub, and select what time you want to get off, as opposed to getting the stickers and the labels in the door, and waiting for them to call you down. They did that too, this was a problem. But you literally, I got this thing on my hub and I selected the time to get off because we didn't want to get off early because we were getting off the Conquest, staying for the one night in Miami, then getting back on the Horizon the next day. So we couldn't check into our hotel, so we were trying to get off late. So I put in for a checkout time of like 9 o'clock, the latest one I could. And I was supposed to get a message on my phone telling me when it was my turn to leave the ship. Never came. So I don't know if that's something they're going to be trying. If any of you have seen that on a cruise ship recently, let me know if they did any further than that. But it seemed like a pretty good idea, you know, as opposed to all the confusion elsewhere. So basically, again, it was on your hub. You were able to go in, check out the time you wanted to get off the ship, and then they were supposed to send you a message saying, all right, you checked in for 9 o'clock, you can now get off the ship. But they never did. So not really a tip. It's a tip in production that hopefully will come into fruition. We will be on the Pride on April the 9th, just a little 4-day cruise out of Tampa, primarily because the cruise director is phenomenal, and I don't really care about cruise directors normally, but this one's great, Joey. I think he's brilliant. And also the wonderfully funny CJ Jones is on board, so too good to miss. So we'll be on that, and we'll see if they do it on there. But yeah, that's kind of a lame set of tips this week, wasn't it? I feel like I should give you another one. Because smoking in Mexico, whatever, who's going to do that? Bluetooth players are allowed, not allowed. That's a lame one. And the connecting room, well, that's quite good. The connecting room one's quite interesting. And yeah, they weren't that bad, were they? I've done worse. That's what she said. Anyway, yeah, 4 tips. That's all you get. Primarily because I've only got 3 more written down. Oh, I got 4 more written down. So I'll do 4 next week. Boom. But you know what? After that, I ain't got any more. I need yours. Please. You see how lame those tips were? I'm struggling. People, I'm struggling. I've given so many. I'm going to have to start repeating my earlier tips. I can't even remember what they were. I started at the beginning of this with a spreadsheet of what tips I gave out what week. And after a while, I'm like, hell with that. So I don't even know what tips I've given out or not as time's gone by. So yeah, if you don't start sending me yours, I'm just going to start repeating. Not that you'll know, because I'm sure nobody watches all of these. But anyway, whatever. Alright, subscribe if you can put up with more of this. Send me your tips. If you have any questions, my email's coming up. And send me your cruising traditions. As I've said many, many times, you see the ships up there? They're inflatable ships. We take them around all the bars. On one day on the cruise, we have all the bartenders sign it. So that's what they are. So that's my big tradition on a cruise ship. The other one is to attempt to max out the cheers every day. But lately, as I'm getting older, not too successful. Not too successful. Anyway, with that, I will see you later, Cruising World. Until next week, more tips. But then, if you don't send them, could be over. We almost made it to a year. It's on you, people. See you later. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.